Hari Om. In the 5th semester, we have a course on operating system which contains 5 different modules. In our previous session, we talked about what is a prerequisite for operating system and why operating system is required and how operating system is used for different ways of controlling a computer system. All these points very briefly we touched upon. So let us get into the first module of operating system. So these are the topics that we will be covering in the first module. So we actually in module 1 we are going to start with operating system structure, but even though we have the first topic as operating system structure, we will very briefly touch upon like what is operating system, what is the organization of your computer system, what is the computer system architecture, etc. Very briefly, just to recollect the points that you have discussed in your 4th semester in the computer organization. Let us get into the introduction. So we are going to first talk about what operating systems do, what the computer system organization and the architecture. Then we will talk about the operating system structure, then the different operating system operations. Let us see what is an operating system. We know that the operating system is nothing but a program or a software which acts as an intermediary between an user of a computer and the computer hardware, right? So because we had seen two very important terms for operating system, one, it acts as an user interface, and the other one is it is the program which is acting as a resource manager, or you can also call it as a program which controls the entire computer system. So the major goals of the operating system, why we need operating system, if you ask me, these are the reasons that we can say the objective, the aim or goals of the operating system. It helps in executing user programs and applications. So without operating system, you cannot execute your applications or your programs, right? So if you want to run your C compiler, or if you want to run your word processor, you need the operating system. And it helps the users to manage their tasks in an easier way. Say you want to organize your files, or you want to copy a file, or you want to create a folder. All these things can be done in a very easier manner using an operating system. And the operating system obviously makes the computer system convenient to use by an end user. Then it use the computer hardware in a very efficient manner, because it is going to act as a resource allocator also. So how effectively and efficiently it can allocate resources for various programs that are running in the computer system. So you can say an operating system is a program which acts as an interface between the users and the computer hardware, and it provides a very user friendly environment to develop and execute programs. So all of you might have experienced how you are developing and executing a program using the operating system. We use Linux operating system in our lab. So you might have come across like using the Linux operating system, how do you develop programs using some software development kits, and how do you execute the programs, how do you compile the programs, all those things. And also we can say that an operating system hides the complexity of the hardware from the user. This is one of the very important concept, because in earlier days, if you want to take a printout, if you want to have the memory, or if you want to store some data, for all these things they have to do everything manually. The hardware should also be known to the persons who are using the computer. Only then they can properly plug into different devices. In earlier days, you will have a computer in the room size, then the input, output, storage, everything will be plugged then and there when you want to work with the computer, right? Whereas nowadays you have your computer, a mini computer, sorry, not mini, a notebook computer or a notebook laptop. If you see, it's very handy, and it hides completely the complexity of hardware from the user. So you need not bother about how the characters that you are typing in the keyboard is appearing on the monitor, right? So it will be taken care by the operating system. You just feel like whatever you type in the keyboard is simply appearing on the monitor. You know that both of these devices are completely different, they generate different signals, but even then you feel that whatever you type on the keyboard are immediately appearing on the monitor, as if the monitor and the keyboard are the connected devices, right? But it is not so. Whatever you type in will be captured by the operating system, and it will take care of how it is to be displayed on the monitor. So it completely hides the complexity of the hardware from the users. So in general, your computer system will have some resources like the memory, the processors, input, output, file system, etc. These are the different resources that you will be having. External resources, right? These are all the peripheral devices, let me say. All these peripheral devices are also resources of the computer system. And apart from that, you have a motherboard, right, inside your computer, right? Inside this cabinet you have this motherboard also. The motherboard itself is having this many number of components, right? So all these components are again resources of the computer system. The processes, different processes that you have inside the motherboard. So this is where you will have the processor, right? So this is your processor. So these processors or again resource for your computer system. You may have only one processor or you may have more than one processor. Then obviously you have a RAM, which is nothing but your memory, which you will be plugging into these slots, right? So these are the memory slots. You can observe here, these are the memory slots. So this memory card will be inserted here, so that you will get the memory as a resource for your computer system, right? So all these resources are to be very efficiently managed by the operating system. So I can say the operating system manages these resources, and not only that, it allocates them to specific programs and users, so that specific programs, and not only to the programs, to the users, right? So the users are the one who will be requesting for a particular job in your computer system. So to which user the resource must be allocated, to which program the resource must be allocated, will be decided by the operating system. And the very interesting part is the user gets rid of difficult hardware consideration. So user need not bother about like how it is how the memory is getting the data from the secondary storage device to the different bytes that are available in the memory, right? So from the memory, how it goes to the processor and how it is getting executed, these things need not be bothered about by the end users of the computer system. So for allocating these resources very efficiently and effectively, the operating system provides these kind of services like how to manage the processor, how to manage the memory, how to manage the files which are stored in the secondary storage device, and how to manage all the input output devices. So we had seen here the different peripheral devices available, like how these devices are to be managed and how the concurrency control is to be done, because inside this motherboard you have very different components. So all these components will be working together, and if you have more than one processor, in some motherboards will be having two slots for processor 1 and processor 2. So if you have multiple processors, how it is to be handled, everything will be taken care by the operating system. So if this is the case, right, so this is a very brief idea about what is an operating system. Now if you take the computer system is generally divided into 4 different components. One, it is having set of hardwares, all the peripheral devices, motherboard, random access memory, processor, right? Different network switch, sorry, network cards, then the basic input output system, right? All these are coming as the components of your computer system, right? So this is one set of components which is available in the computer system. Then you need operating system. Obviously this is the one which is going to control and coordinate the use of hardware among various applications, because you may be using a printing application, you may be using a browsing application, you may be using a document preparation application. Various applications are there, and how these applications are to be controlled will be again coordinated by the operating system. Then apart from that, inside your computer system you have lots of application programs, and these are nothing but some softwares which are used to solve the computing problems of the users, like word processors, compilers, browsers, databases. All these things are some examples of the application programs. Then the fourth important component is the users, who is going to use the machine for solving their problem or for doing their activities. Okay, so any computer system, if I call a computer system, that means it has these four major units, so all these units: hardware, operating system, software, and the end users, right? So they have to work in a very very regulated and organized manner. Only then a task can be completed. Okay, so for that is why we call it as a system, right? It is not going to have only one unit. Instead it is going to have different units or different components. The units are otherwise known as components. So these four components are to be connected together to complete a task. So these are the four different components, and all these four components are connected like this. You have the users here. One or more than one users will be connected in a computer system. So if it is going to be a server machine, you will have more than one user. If it is going to be a desktop or a laptop, you will be having only one user. So it depends on what kind of machine or what kind of system you are having. Based on that, you will have one user or multiple users. Okay, and each user may be using different applications, and all these applications will be interacting with the hardware only through the operating system. So this is becoming the heart and soul of your computer system. So if the user wants to interact with, he will be interacting with the operating system and through the different application programs, right? And in the same way, if the user wants to take a printout, he gets the help of the operating system, or he gets the service of the operating system to get it printed. Or if he wants to display something on the monitor, obviously he gets the help of the or the service of the operating system. Okay, so this is how the four different components of a computer system are connected. Your operating system is used as a predefined library here for hardware and software interaction. So your hardware is somewhere here, and the application programs and the system programs. So text editor can be called as an application program, whereas compiler and assembler are the system program. So all these application programs may interact with the system programs or directly to the operating system. Then the operating system will interact with the machine language, and the machine language or the device controller will be controlling the hardware, right? So this is how they are connected. This is another diagrammatic representation you can use to say the operating system is acting as an interface between the application programs and the hardware. Now, if you take the operating system can be explored from two different viewpoints, right? Your operating system can be explored from two different viewpoints. This operating system can be viewed or explored from two different viewpoints. one is the user view, the other one is the system view, right? So from the viewpoint of the end user, right, who is using the computer, and from the point of the system, right, from the point of the system or the operating system, let us see how it can be explored. Now if you take the user's view, right, so in the from the user's view, see, I am the user of the laptop, right? From my view, it will be talking about whether you are going to have a single user interface, or whether your computer is a mini computer or a mainframe computer which will be having lots of terminal connected to it. So earlier, in when I was a student, like in my lab, we were having a mini computer, and the mini computer was running Unix operating system, right? And all these users, right, or all of us, the students, we will have one terminal which will be having only the keyboard and the monitor. So this keyboard and the monitor will be connected to the mini computer with the proper hub and switches, and I will be working with my, let me say, C program. My friend may be working with Pascal program, right? So both the programs will be running in the mini computer, and all of us, all the students, will be connected to the computer using a terminal, right? So this is another way of interacting with the computer, right? But here, when I am going to use this kind of setup, resource sharing is very, very important, because there is only one computer which is shared by all the 10, 15, 25 students, right? Then how this computer components or the computer parts will be shared with all the users, and how the resource utilization can be maximized. This is another concern in the operating system. Then the interfaces for workstation. Suppose if you are going to have Windows 2012 server, or you are going to have Windows 2019 server, right? So this server will be connected to different workstations. So you will have one desktop machine, or maybe 10 different desktop machines connected to the Windows 2003 or Windows 2008 server. Okay, now, so how the operating system of Windows 2003 server will be working, because it has to be connected to different workstations, and each user from the workstation will be interacting with the server for various activities. Again here, whether you are going to have a dedicated resource or you are going to have a shared resource. Suppose if you are going to have a hard disk, right, inside the server you will be having a hard disk which will be shared by all the users, all the workstations that are connected to the server. Suppose if the server is connected to a printer, then printer is a dedicated device. So at a time only one user can use the printer. So how it is to be managed? So this is another user's view of the computer which is going to use the operating system. Then you may be having a mobile computer. Obviously nowadays all of you are using mobile phones, and these mobile phones are also having an operating system, and the only interface that you are using nowadays is the touch screen, right? So keypad is not at all used nowadays. Everybody is having the touch screen as the interface. So how the interface is to be designed in the operating system. Then you have embedded computers also, right? Say for example, some of the home devices, home appliances are having this embedded computer, like your microwave ovens or your washing machines. These are having these are having some chips which are available inside. So you have some touch keypads, right? You just have the indicators, right? So you will have only the indicators, lights on and off to show the status. So if you have the washing machine, so you just press the button, then automatically it will be set and it will start working, right? If you have the microwave oven, you have some keypads, right? Just press all these keypads and it will start working. So these are some of the examples of the embedded computers where also we use some operating system concepts. And so these are the different views of the computer that varies according to the interface from the viewpoint of the user. If I'm going to use a desktop machine, what kind of interface is to be designed, right? How the interface is to be designed. If I'm having a server, then how the interface is to be designed. If I'm going to have a mobile computer, how the interface is to be designed so that the operating system can be used very efficiently for managing all the resources. Now, whereas from the point of the system, right, from the point of the computer, from the computer's point of view, the operating system is the program that is most intimate with the hardware, right? So system side if you take the computer's viewpoint, the computer needs the operating system to interact with the hardware and the user. Now here the operating system will be viewed as a resource allocator. So you may be having different components. We had just now we had seen what are the different components available in the computer system. These are the different, yes, we had seen these are the different resources available, these are the different resources available. So all these resources are to be managed efficiently. So operating system here acts as the manager of these resources. And why we say it has to manage the resources is nothing but, if I'm going to have around 10 users connected to the server machine, you will have continuous request coming from these users, right? So the computer system or the server, let me say, the server will be receiving a request from the users, right? If 10 users are giving 10 different requests, then the operating system needs to manage all these requests. So there it has to check how many requests are coming in, whether any conflicting requests are coming in. Two users are simultaneously requesting for the printer, so that is going to be a conflicting request or concurrent request. So if there are concurrent requests, how it is to be managed. Or two different processors are requesting for a database server, then how it is to be managed. So these things will be addressed by the operating system. And not only that, the operating system must decide when and how to allocate the resources to the various processes that are requesting. Then from the system's view, right, from the computer's view, the operating system is a control program which manages the execution of user programs, right? So it acts as a controller of the computer system, or it acts as a software which controls and manages the execution of all the users program. So it is concerned with the operation and control of the input output devices. So how each and every instruction of the program is to be executed, how the input output devices are to be managed, everything will be taken care by the operating system. So from the computer's viewpoint, the operating system acts as the resource allocator and the control program, whereas from the user's viewpoint, the operating system is simply an user interface. So what kind of interface can be used by the or showed, displayed to the end user. So with all these discussion, we can have a definition for operating system, something like operating system is a resource allocator that manages all resources and decides between conflicting requests for efficient and fair resource usage. It is the control program that controls the execution of programs to prevent errors and improper use of the computer. So this is one good definition we can have for the operating system. And if you take the definition, there is no universally accepted definition. Sometimes it can also be called as the only one program which is running at all times on the computer, which is called as the kernel of the operating system. So this is the heart or core of the operating system, which will be running always in the computer, which will receive the service request from the users and the application programs. Based on the request, it will start responding for the services. Service request, responding for the service request. Okay. So let me stop here. Let us discuss the computer system organization in the next session. Thank you.